Εδώ είμαστε λοιπόν, είναι το TV War του Mad και του Metal Hammer. Βρισκόμαστε στο No Remorse Records και κρατώ στα χέρια μου το νέο άλμπουμ, τον ATLANTEAN KODEX, The White Goddess, το οποίο, κατά την ταπεινή μας γνώμη, είναι το καλύτερο άλμπουμ στον χώρο του επικού doom metal που θα ακούσετε τον τελευταίο καιρό και που μάλλον θα κάνετε πολλά χρόνια να ακούσετε κάτι σαν και αυτό. Και μαζί μας σήμερα εδώ στο TV War φιλοξενούμε τον main man του συγκροτήματος, είναι ο Manuel. Hey man, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Well, I just told the guys out there that the White Goddess is the ultimate epic doom metal album they can hear nowadays. Do you feel comfortable when your label does an epic doom metal band?
Well, I wouldn't consider us really a doom metal band. We're not like classic doom metal like Candlemass, Black Sabbath, but we are using a lot of slow stuff, and maybe that's why people consider us a doom metal band, but I wouldn't consider ourselves not really a doom metal band. I'm pretty fine with the term epic heavy metal or something like that.
Well, great. The previous album, The Golden Bough, was released a couple of years ago, and it was a buzz in the underground. But I have the impression that this new album is gonna qualify you to the next league. As I know, so far the response you have received is tremendous. It's Album of the Month in Rock Hard Germany, it's Album of the Month in Metal Hammer Greece, and are you satisfied from the response you have received so far?
Yeah, we're not only satisfied, we're pretty overwhelmed. We kind of knew that the album was good and that it could live up to the Golden Bough, but we never expected a response like this, you know, with Album of the Month here, Album of the Month there, and top grades all over Europe that came as a huge, well, I wouldn't say surprise, but it kind of overwhelmed us. It's still incredible.
Well, listening to the new album, The White Goddess, I see that it's kind of different to the previous one. I mean, all the trademarks of the band are there, but I would say that there are more textures in this one. I don't know if it's the melodies or the vocals or it's more atmospheric. How do you think?
Yeah, I'd agree. It's definitely more layered. It's definitely, you know, round, maybe even more perfect than the Golden Bough. The Golden Bough was very raw. Most of it, most of the drum tracks, for instance, on the album on the Golden Bough are first takes, and we didn't edit them. It's just what we played in the rehearsal room. And this time we took some more time. We recorded demos and we worked on the demos, so the whole production process was much more intense, and maybe this adds to the details of the album and to the textures of the album and makes it more complete, more round in a way. So.
Yeah. Well, do you think that this new album is going to take you out of the underground and make you a mainstream metal band? I mean, have you ever thought that you might have ATLANTEAN KODEX as your main job?
I think that's still a pretty long road to go. Maybe the album will take us out of the underground, but I think we will refuse to go overground. We'll just stay there and do our thing. But I don't think we're still talking about epic heavy metal, and maybe it's Album of the Month now, but I can't see us anywhere living from this band. It's just too small in a way. We're not like Guns N' Roses or whatever. It's just too small to live from.
Okay. Well, ATLANTEAN KODEX, besides your trademark sound, which is this kind of epic metal, there is also a trademark in the topics of the band. You deal with the European mythology. And I would like to ask you, could we say that ATLANTEAN KODEX is a kind of concept band in the way that King Diamond is a horror metal band or Ramon Amarth is a Viking metal band? So that's going to be the only source of inspiration lyric-wise?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I never thought about it, but what would be our concept if King Diamond is horror? Maybe we're European metal, or I'm not sure. Yeah, we always got, starting from the first EP, we always got this old European mythology thing going on. I think that's one of our trademarks to to use lyrics from ancient mythologies, but not only, you know, narrate and you know, just tell a story like, for instance, the Viking metal bands do, but, you know, to get a different perspective on the modern world. You know, we're adapting these mythologies to get a new insight or a new perspective on what's happening today. So it's kind of a metaphor, it's kind of a symbol, but it's also something you can draw answers from, maybe, and maybe that's our concept in a way, you know, this mythology thing, but adapting it to the modern world, not only telling it.
Enthroned in clouds and fire, ancient harbinger of the end.
Well, I suppose that the things you're doing is very out of fashion. It's old school heavy metal, but with your own style in there. And you have your influences from old Manowar, from early Manowar, Candlemas, Bathory, 70s hard rock bands, as you mentioned in your interviews. And I'd like to know, do the other members of the band share the same passion with you, music-wise and lyric-wise?
Yeah, I hope so. No, definitely. We all grew up in the 80s and started listening metal in the 80s, and basically 3 of us guys are huge record collectors with huge collections of 80s metal, and we're all reading the same stuff. You know, the Lovecraft themed books, the Clark Ashton Smith, Robert E. Howard, J.R.R. Tolkien, of course. I think basically everyone in the band is kind of fascinated by mythology, so we're working pretty good together as a unit when it comes to concept, when it comes to lyrical content. I think we're all pulling in the same direction.
Well, your influences as a musician, as a composer, are obvious. Are the bands, the names we mentioned before. But as a lyricist, are you influenced from any known metal lyricist?
Oh, that's a difficult question. Well, I always really...
The influences from Howard, Tolkien, and other stuff are obvious. But what about metal lyricists?
I always really liked the lyrics by Martin Walker from Skyclad, because he's writing his lyrics in a similar way we do. He's using a lot of metaphors, a lot of symbols, a lot of old language, but he's using them to comment on the modern world. And I think he's really brilliant, and maybe you can quote him as an influence for me. But
You know, last night I was surfing on the internet, and I found out that there is a book. It's called Sympathy for the Devil, with a question mark. And is you the writer?
ah, I've heard about the book. Yeah, yeah, I wrote it.
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's basically a doctoral thesis, and the subject is called cultural anthropology, and it deals.
Are you a doctor in cultural anthropology?
Yeah, right. And it deals with the character of the devil throughout the history of rock music, right from the start, from blues through rock and roll, through psychedelic rock, right to black metal, and how this character, the devil, evolved in rock music, and how he portrays in a way society. You can use the devil as a metaphor, as a symbol for the society as a whole, and I looked at the character and examined it, what the devil actually means.
ATLANTEAN KODEX, it seems that's a very intellectual band. Would you like the fans to really get into your lyrics, or just banging their heads with your music? It's okay with you?
Oh, we're just offering something, and it's up to the people what they, how they take up this offer. We're perfectly fine if people are headbanging to his music. After all, it's metal, and it would be a strange thing tonight, for instance, at our show, when everyone was standing there with a book and reading the lyrics. It would be kind of crap. So they should headbang the shit out of it. But on the other hand, while listening to it at home, I think it's quite a compliment if people really take a book like The White Goddess or The Golden Bough and really try to get into the subject, because for us as the creators of these lyrics, it means that we touch them in a way, and we fascinated the people for something, and it's really a compliment when they do it. But it's up to them. They decide. They bought it, so they decide what to do with it.
Okay. So that was it, Manuel, more or less. Just say something to the Greek fans over there.
Hello Athens, hello Greece. Thanks for inviting us over once again. We always love to come back, and it definitely wasn't the last time. So hope to see you at our show tonight, and thank you.